It does not come as a surprise, and I think that we've all been there. How to escape the loop. Let's overcome why you cannot finish any music. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you today. That is today's video. You ready? Let's go do it right now. Hey, check it out, I'm in location and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, do not hesitate to click subscribe and hit that notification bell. Whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you'll not miss out on anything. Hang out till the end of this video. I'll tell you all about Discord, tell you all about Patreon, I'll tell you who the new patrons are for this week, I'll tell you all about the Mixer project. Now, on today's topic, to overcome why you cannot finish any music. I think it's down to a few things. You might be insecure about your own music, you might be insecure about the music industry. It can become a tedious process waiting for people to really understand and know your music. Sometimes it just takes ages for record labels to respond. You might just be inexperienced in general if you just started out. That will invoke a lot of insecurities. And most often, I think that we are too emotionally attached. What I've found and what I've seen also is that from the minute I make music for somebody else, the emotional bond that I have with the product is gone. I can finish the track, there's no problem. Now, today, I'm not so much going to go into the psychological aspect of why things are the way they are and how it's possible that we don't finish stuff. I firmly believe that you need to finish one track at some point in order to just progress, move forward, have at least people say something about it, because people just don't give a damn. They just don't. All the emotion that we think we feel when we produce music, when we create something, you have to kill your babies at some point. I have found a very simple structure in order for me to just like tick those boxes. Once I've ticked all of them, track is done, I can just move on. We have to come to terms with a few things first. If we cannot come to terms with that, then probably this video is not going to work. You will have to detach yourself emotionally from the product. Look at it as I'm going to do a task. Much like a video game, you cannot advance to the next level if you have not killed the end boss. It's that simple. Making music and finishing tracks boils down to analyzing the track and chopping it into 3 different segments in order of importance. A, B, and C. A is your foundation. Anything that's been stuck on A is the foundation of the track, the foundation of the house. Good kick, good drums, good like claps, everything works and it's grooving and you don't need anything else, not per se. That is the first thing you should aim for. Then you advance to the B segment. And in the B segment, that's where you start to look at chords, look at pads, look at anything that gives your track character, and that is where you create stuff that makes you stand out. The identity of the track, your leads, your vocals, much of that stuff is embedded in segment B. And the C category is where you put your ear candy, is where you put your impacts, your risers, your crashes, your mood stuff, your atmospheric elements. That's what sets you apart from anything else. It's a fun process, but you can only paint the walls of your house and put carpet in there and just like put paintings on the wall if the house is cool enough to actually do that in. And I will show you step by step by step how you should interpret certain sounds and when it's done. And the trick is, once you advance to the next level, you will never have to go back. We as a people are very handy in listening to stuff that we would like to listen to. Have you not wondered how it is that you listen to a track all your life and then you find out that you're singing the lyrics wrong? It happens because you focus on something else. How is it that Buddhist monks can sit in the snow with their bare feet and they don't freeze up anything? They don't feel uncomfortable. It's mind over matter most of the time. And we're not used to that. But when it comes to making music and interpreting certain things, there are tricks that you can learn to get to that point. I'm not saying you're going to sit naked in the snow, but I'm trying to tell you that at least you can focus on certain things, because hearing a track and listening to a track are 2 different things. And we always say that we're listening to something, but mostly we're hearing stuff. We hear what we want. And anything, if you listen to a track that you like, you're going to pick out one specific element, and that element is going to tickle your adrenaline and you're off. But that means that you're not listening to anything else. So sometimes you need to go back in and listen to the stuff that you missed the first, second, third, or whatever time. Now that's how the ABC structure works, because you will have to listen very carefully and critically to whatever is going to be embedded on the track. Master this technique, you are going to finish tracks within no time. Okay, let's go do it. You ready? Let's go! All right, gang, welcome to the setup. This setup is, consisting of a few elements that I think that make up my electronic orchestra. Now, there's the subsequent 37 that does different things. Sometimes it plays leads, so it will sit within the B category. Sometimes it will play something of a groove element, so it can sit in the A category. Now, there's the OB6 that does pretty much the same thing. So that's leads, but this is a polyphonic synth. Obviously, this is a monophonic synth, or paraphonic synth, I should say. So this plays dual oscillators, which is what you're going to hear on the preset that I've got connected here. The Akai MPC Live as being the heart of the operation for the MIDI side of things, the Octatrack Mark II for the drum kind of things, and then there's this 1010 Music black box sampler. So sampler, 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 but they all do different things. Then there, as you can see here, this is the multi-clock. It's on 125 BPM. Now, in terms of mixing, I've got tucked away the DM12, which is a Midas mixer, small. It just sums everything up. I don't really extensively EQ anything on there. And the sends that are the auxiliary sends are sending whatever is on any channel, either in mono or in stereo, to the 1010 black box. So they input on the black box, so I can also real time sample whatever I think I should sample at the time, and it loops it and it just plays it back pretty neatly. So that's how I set that up. Then the output of the Akai MPC is what I've done here is I sent the MPC1 output into the acid box, and then from the acid box into the digital delay, and then from the digital delay to the desks, because I don't want to be fiddling about with MIDI mapping stuff away, because I've seen that sometimes it loses its MIDI mappings, and I don't really like to just like go in and, you know, especially if you have mapped a lot of stuff away extensively, it's just a pain in the butt, just like go in and do that all over again. So pretty simple. A few sounds come from the Akai, some pads, some stuff. There's the OB6, by the way. Something that comes from the Akai, and then I can filter it here. The subsequent goes into the Strymon, and then this MIDI fighter right here is connected to the 1010 Music black box. So all the different paths that you see here, there are 16 sort of squares, and that resembles the 16 knobs that are here. And those are dual, so if I twist them, that's filter. If I press them, I can launch stuff. Now, I'm thinking I want to make a tune, and what do I need? I first of all start with my kick drum, obviously. Now, I've got my kick drum right here. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, as you can hear, I don't want to go in and think like, oh, I need to EQ a lot of stuff. So I'm already looking at the kick as something of a bit of dirt needs to be embedded on this kick. So if you listen to it, you can clearly hear that it's got like a towards the end of this kick. There's some stuff that hangs off the kick. So this, in the grand scheme of things, is definitely going to help me out, so that things don't get too clean, is how I should put it. It should not get too clean. Okay, moving on. So track 2 on the Octatrack is going to be my hats. Now, as a rule of thumb, and I know this because I've seen this on the door when I measured it out, my kick drum will always be 2 to 3 dBs louder than the rest of my drums. In order to make that work, I stuck the kick out separately, so it goes on a separate channel on the desk right here, which means that if for some reason I get enthusiastic, or a different pattern's got a different vibe, or a different level, or something sticks out, I can always adjust the kick here. You always like to have your kick separate. So that's one thing in terms of live performing. So moving on. Hat, bam, bam, bam. I think that the kick does 1, 2, 3, bam, bam, bam. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. So that's what the kick is doing. That's I'm looking at an 808 hat. For melodic techno, I'm always looking for an 808 hat, because this sprinkles a blanket of a high frequencies, which is always audible, and which is something that, if it's not there, makes your track a little bit bottom heavy, I'd say. So I need this to sit here. If I need it to be more predominant, I'd rather not turn it up. I'll just look at the length of the sound. So So making it shorter and longer gives me more of an impact. So you can imagine that if the track progresses, you'll open it up gradually, and then it becomes a little bit more of an adrenaline thing. But for now, I'll just stick it here. And the release is on 42, right? So it goes up all the way up to 127. Now I've got it set on 43. Let's say 42. Okay, snare drum. With a little bit of reverb on there. So now you can hear why the doog thing on the kick is helping me. Because when it comes to dollar setups, I don't have ample room for a lot of different tracks. If you needed to embed whatever's playing on the kick, it would be 3 tracks extra of a little bit of that reverb thingy, that tail on the back, and you know, probably comes out of a loop. I don't know what it is. So this sounds like an arpeggio in the back. You have to just listen to this on decent speakers, otherwise it will not hear it. But that's how that is set up. So, and then it goes. Now, as a rule of thumb, again, in the A category, I try to just like level my stuff up in such a way that I don't have to mix it. I don't want to mix stuff if it doesn't need to. So I'll prefer to choose sounds that are sounding great out of the box. And what is a great sounding sound? This is what I teach in my classes as well. I'm asking kids, what do you think is a great sound? Everybody just comes up with the fundamental needs to be there, but it's also got to do with whatever surrounds the sound. Is it sticking out? Is that fundamental clear, but is there a lot of background noise that doesn't help you? I mean, in this kick drum, it helps. But you can imagine that on a snare that is this loud and this snappy, it might not work. Okay, now I've got another kick drum that helps the kick that I have. I like to just here embed old school and new school stuff, so that if I'm not using an extra loop, it will just help me out. So this is an old school 808 kick, right? You can hear it. With, as it appears, sounds almost like there's a little bit of reverb on there. It's clicking towards the end. Let's solve that, because I don't really like the fact that it's clicking there. Go here, tick, tick. There you go. That's gone. But I need to be careful. Well, I'm a stickler at the minute, because you know, you don't hear it when everything is playing, but now that in solo I heard it. So I can just literally double click, okay, edit, and then I can see that towards the end there might be a click right there. So if I go out of there, open up the release, there it is, tick. Do it again, double click, edit the sound, and see if you know what, screw it. Badum, then badum pam pam. So now you get a bit of a groove. There is swing on here, because I want to have this thing sound great immediately. Now this could be a minimal kind of vibe track, old school, that already works. You know, so every step that I'm doing needs to just like sound like it's there with a purpose. So snare works. Now I'm gonna play an open head. So 707 snare, 808 head. Again, the head is something that I can look at in terms of length. So now it's a little bit more snappy. And it plays a little bit more with the closed head here. Nice. Okay, on 6, I have got a Congo loop that I have programmed already, because I need something to flirt with the outside world. But for me, this sounds like an A category kind of vibe, right? This is all working. I don't need to tweak anything. It sounds wicked on a dance floor. Okay, so I'm happy with this. So what do I need? There's no congos here. This is a different loop because I'm on a different pattern. But anyway, Track 6 is always going to be my otherworldly, door to the outside world kind of vibe, because this is very drum computery, which is cool, but it's also very 1985. And I would like to have my track a little bit of an influence of a modern kind of vibe. So that's a bit on the loud side, so I'll go in and I'll turn it down a little bit. Nice, I'm liking it. This A category stuff, right? This works. This, nobody would leave the dance floor, but eventually you want to add something. Now, when it comes to tonal information, a lot of people have asked me, yeah, but what if I've got like a tone, which is a theme? It's is it a B category? Is it an A category? Now, that depends on how far I'm going to stick stuff on the groove. Yeah. So if I'm going to go in on that sub sequence 37, and I've got a track that's very simple, but for some reason it sounds very sophisticated. But what I've played is a few notes, and I've made it into a sequence that sounds something like this. Let's turn off the reverb here so that you can hear what. And I'll go in and I'll show you how simple this thing is, if you can make it out on the camera. What do you do? So, but if you listen to it, now when you're making dance music, this is your A category stuff. Now I don't really need to do anything else. I can make a track with this. And back in. And obviously, because the subsequent doesn't come with any effects on board, but it's a wicked machine, I'm going to put the blue sky on there. So I've got the blue sky on normal mode, and then on a plate. And I'm just opening this up till, what is it, 9 o'clock, and then the decay is on 12 o'clock, right? Now it's got its own little space, it sits neatly within the groove, does the thing. This is already working, this is my A category stuff. I mean, if now the current would leave me, this thing collapses, I can't play anything else anymore, I'll be happy with this. So in terms of what you're hearing right now, this is cool, right? Now when this plays, it's kind of a hamster wheel situation, and nobody would leave the dance floor, but probably nobody's going to run up to you the next day and say, like, remember that track that you played? So you would like to play different things that will stand out, and that's where the B category stuff comes in. Now in my B category stuff, I have embedded things that I can actually play. So this is where I would start playing a melody. I've got a theme here. So obviously, if I wanted to just like embed a little bit of emotion, I'll probably play something. Nice. This is coming from the Akai, mind you. So I can also go in and let's find something of character that we can play that will help us out a little bit. Yeah? Let's see, because I've got another sound that I think that was even better, a blocky. I'm playing this thing in C minor, so there's a C. So you can hear it's just a C minor chord, and then I'm just sticking to whatever's happening. Mind you, there's still no bass line playing. And this is what I love about this A category stuff that I've got right now. Since there's nothing embedded, no bass lines, no craziness, I can just like have this infinite loop go for a while. Now I'm going to play something that I'm not even sure. I'm just going to play a theme. Something very proggy. Yeah, let's record it. What the hell? Okay, cool. Let's see if it works. All the notes are there. Yep, go again. Now this sets the track apart from anything else, because now this is something that could actually, yeah, it's recognizable, right? Kick out, filter open. You see how I'm not worried about my drums anymore. You know, this is done and dusted. I'm already gone to the next level. So, yeah. Go in, lower this. Nice, 1, 2, 3, go. Right now I'm thinking, okay, I can still hear this sound and this sound being spaced out, especially this being a digital sort of sound. What I would like is for this to be a little bit more embedded on the groove. Now what I have on the 1010 Black Box is pads that will absolutely smear and glue those things together. Yeah, I'm going to lower this, because this needs to come out of the darkness. And with darkness I mean I will just stick it away. Listen to what I've got right here. Just pads. This is a small sample that I've sampled from the OB6 that is there, and it's on a filter, so you can hear there's delay also here. So if I want to build up the track, build tension, this is probably how I'll just work it. Now on the master, on this master channel here, channel 8, I have some reverb that I can use to make a big break. So we're trying to find ingredients so that we know that, okay, once this is done, we don't need anything else. Here we go. Like it, man. Very atmospheric. Now, as a catalyst in the B category, I would love to have an arpeggio of some sort that just does my moving forward, right? So I'm going to look at, have I got something else? This is another arpeggio, and that plays this. Now the trick why this is working is because you got call and response also embedded. Let's turn this off. That's the pads, by the way. I've turned them off. Now listen. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This thing breaks the 4-beat bar up in 2. 1, 2, and starts 2, starts 2, starts 2, right? This, however, 1, 2, 3, 4, and starts 2, 3, 4. So you got a division here. This starting every 2, this starting every 4, and that gives longevity to the track. So filtering this out, kick in. So this builds anticipation with your crowd. So if you want to finish a tune, you want to just think on, okay, what does it need? I try to just like be as efficient as I can with not too many ingredients if that's possible. So this already works for me, right? And again, in a filter. Now listen to what happens if I'm going to play that theme now, because this, again, does not stand out, but my theme will stand out right now. Nice. you gotta love the vibe, man. Kick drum in. Watch how the low end is going away. Okay. Tick. Yep. Next level. Now you understand why this closed head does the trick, because this is pretty much the only high kind of frequency content that you have here. Nice. Okay. Let's see if we can find something of a bass line maybe. This is a lot. I don't have to go in, menu dive or mute stuff. Just turn it off, man. There you go. Okay, gonna go in. We'll turn this off for a second. Now I'm going to look at my bass line, find it. I see that I've got one here, also coming from the Akai. So what I'm going to do is this thing, turn this off, open this up, go here. Woo! Keep it nice and deep. I'm liking this. I'm gonna record it. Simple. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I think it was all right. Started to doubt myself for a second. So what I'm doing, I'm going to copy this over, nudge. Nice. Okay, I'm going to say copy. Boom. Now I've got everything. What's happening? Oh, the note's a little bit too long. Cool. Edit end. And then nudge this. Nah, come on, undo. Undo. Let's just play it again. Okay. 7. I'm gonna start this again so that I know that I'm on the same beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Need to make sure. Here we go. Boom. And hear that nothing plays also. Two, 3, 4, 5, and. Woo. I'm liking this. I'm very much liking this. This bass line I love. Okay, now the track is going somewhere, right? So I'm starting on. There's a little bit of variety here. Now listen to what happens. Kick out. Now subsequent is going to drive the beat. Okay. Now, this is my sort of flow, vibe. I love whatever I'm hearing. This is the A and the B. Still, now if I wanted to just like place a little bit more of a theme in there, there's another arpeggio that I have that is definitely going to stand out because everything here does something in a groove, right? Okay. Now listen to this. I've got another theme that plays, and that plays this. So if we turn everything off, but that. Liking that. go. Okay, beats in, like so, and but do you see how everything to me is based around the A category vibe that I've got right here, right? So, listening to opening up this again. And it's layers. Bass line there. I think that I can stick that bass line also on the A category, but I love to have my A category be groove and groove alone, right? Okay. Going to load something else in. Now for the C category stuff. That's just atmospheric stuff that just plays and does what it needs to do. For instance, got a drum roll here. Okay, start something else as well. There we go. Nice. Cool. Can you hear how this just like works? Nice. That's all there is to it. I mean, this thing has been going on for what? 20 minutes already, so you can see how this works, right? All right, guys. I'd like to welcome Grand Mal, Ifiani Alimba, if I pronounce your name correctly, Stefan Durr, and Edward Dixon as my new patrons for this week. Thanks guys for supporting. It's absolutely an amazing ride. Channel's growing, the only way is up. Let's go get it. They are following me on patreon.com/Analog Kitchen, which is a support platform where if you like what you see, you love what you hear, you can just like get in touch with me, and then I've linked a bridge to Discord where we get together, we chat, we do stuff, we talk about this dollars aspect on these things as well, and it came up there as well. A lot of cats out there are saying like, oh, wish you could finish it, and a lot of people are a bit self-conscious about their music, like, is it good enough? You know, and it's cool that they're strengthening up, so everybody helps each other. There's a demo corner. There is obviously talk of gas, talk of gear, talk of modular stuff. That's a very nice, cool community, and I love each and every one of you. So thanks for supporting. Same as channel memberships, you can get on board and, you know, support me that way. So thank you. I'm trying to make better content, come up with better stuff, and yeah, in general, just have a chat about this synthesizer stuff that we are all addicted to, you know, and love. Now, the Mixer project, yay, I am happy. I think the master channel is finished, as in that we know what goes where and we know how the EQ looks. So that's absolutely cool. So it's ordering parts and getting it assembled and then testing that out. And once we know that it sounds the way it needs to sound, very important because it's all about sound, then we can just like dilute it into different channels. So that should be okay. Early days, but stay tuned. Keep your mind on this spot. And of course, there is a challenge, and the challenge is to remix one of the Analog Kitchen tunes. It's going to be an absolute amazing one. I sang on the track, so that's something you heard on my video last week. And yes, I'm going to just, the excerpts, the outtakes are going to just like be online on Patreon as well as in Discord for my loyal followers, and they can download the whole shenanigans and have a blast, you know what I mean? So that would be cool. Okay, is there anything else? Yeah, there's some unreleased stuff on Bandcamp if you might be interested in checking that out. And I've got some more news in terms of the releases and the tracks that are coming, but that's something for another time. If you made it this far into the video, you are an absolute superstar. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next week, you know where, here on another video. I'm Analog Kitchen. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.